Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Work at Music. We are here with Say Lulu. Hi, girls. How are you?
Hi, hola. We're good. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Well, girls, I have a very important question just to introduce you to Peruvian fans. You growing up in a musical environment, did you consider inevitable that you would also dedicate yourself to music?
I think deep down, absolutely. But for a while, we were trying to do something else. We wanted to, go to university and have real jobs because we didn't want to be like our parents. But kind of inevitably, when we were around 18, we started making music, and then one thing led to another, and the band happened, and here we are.
It's nice. When you decided to start your musical career, what was the initial working process like? Did you feel that you had to find a formula to make your work or in order to match your reference for your project?
No, I think that was what was kind of magical about the project when it started out, which is also what has been kind of magical about what we've been doing recently, is there has been not too much of a blueprint or anything. We've just been flowing and just being, and we didn't have too many expectations back then. We didn't think that much would come of it. So there was a purity and a very young energy
and sincerity
in it, that I think was kind of the magic in the beginning. And it was just so fun. It was going to the studio after school or after work and spending the evenings there, and then we didn't think that we wouldn't even dare to think that anyone would listen to it. And then that was kind of the magic of it in the beginning. And I think that's kind of what we've been wanting to make our way back to through our careers, coming back to a place of purity and sincerity and feeling like we're only doing it for the love of doing it, and not thinking so much about an audience or how it's going to be listened to. And I think you can hear that in the newest music. Yeah.
Present your project in 2012. However, you caught the attention of many for covering Tame Impala songs. Feels like we only go backwards. What was the impression you had at the time after that song just putting you on the map?
Which song, sorry?
Tame Impala song, feels like we only.
The Tame Impala song. Well, I don't remember feeling like it put us on the map, but it was just one of those things. In the beginning, we were just excited to do covers of songs, so we made them and put them out and kind of didn't think too much about it. So
no, and back then we felt like Say Lulu had a world. So as soon as we made a cover, it felt like Say Lulu, and we just wanted to try lots of different types of songwriting with our sound.
Yeah,
and we just love doing covers.
Still do.
Yeah, I actually read about the song that you cover after Tame Impala song, that is Instant of Crush, the Julian Casablancas. And okay, let's talk about your single Waiting for a Boy, which is released today, January 20th.
I can't be here waiting for a boy.
You mentioned that yeah, that's great. You mentioned that it comes from a natural and genuine place for both of you. Excuse me. Could you explain in detail what experience or anecdote could you share with us?
Well, the anecdote is quite clear throughout the song. I feel like the lyrics are reflecting quite literally the journey that you're in with someone. But basically, the story is about being with a partner, in this case a boy, a younger man, who doesn't, for whatever reason, can't really give you what you need. And so you end up feeling like you need to take care of them and better yourself for them to love you more. And so you just keep hoping, if you stick around, if you clean enough, if you cook them dinner, and if you do all these things, that they would love you more. But that formula obviously doesn't work and never works. And so that was our experience for many years. Even when we were at the height of our careers and we were touring and doing stuff, we were trying to be in some sort of strange relationship with people where we were trying to be the perfect housewife, which in retrospect makes no sense. But I think a lot of women can relate to that, and men can relate to that when you're trying to be the perfect partner,
and you end up breaking yourself.
You end up breaking yourself, and you realize that that's not what love should look like. Love should be, or a relationship should be 50-50, or it should be mutual giving. And I think when you're younger, I think sometimes anytime in your life, you can find yourself in these relationships where you're trying to make yourself perfect, and that's impossible.
Yeah, I totally agree with you about explaining about this song. I really feel like I can connect to the song, to the lyrics. That's awesome. And you also commented that the process of writing this new single reminding you of your early songwriting. How do you feel your musical career has evolved since that?
I think it's gone through ups and downs in terms of how we write. I think we went from being just us two and maybe one other person to, for a while, we were doing like writing sessions all the time with different people all over the world, and we were doing studio sessions with this producer, that producer, this writer, that writer,
camps,
this and that, very, very like the pop world, which is super cool, and lots of interesting people in it and lots of talented people. It just didn't work for how we like to be, because I think you kind of feel like you're on duty and you have to like perform. So I think the bigger we got, the more we started doing those kind of writing sessions. And now I think when we can have a bit more of a retrospective look at how we work best. It is in a very natural, calm environment, with a friend, with someone we trust, and sort of treating it almost like it's a part of your day. Like you come in, you maybe have a drink, you smoke something, whatever, you sit down and you just like flow with the process,
and no pressure,
and what comes of it comes of it. And I think that's when we personally make really good stuff. And also in this instance, which is not actually usual for us, we wrote the lyrics, part of the lyrics beforehand. So we wrote it almost like poetry first, and then we brought it into and put music to it. So I think that also is new for us, and I think that really works.
Well, besides music, it's your particular taste in fashion that attracts people. In that case, what does fashion represent for you, and what is the relationship you have with the fashion industry?
I think fashion, like art, like photography, like music, like film, is a sense of expression, is a creative output, and we like expressing ourselves in fashion.
Yeah, and I also think that fashion, as much as I think it's one of the things that captures the zeitgeist the most. And because fashion also has budget in a way that others don't, they can include artists and music and movie stars and this and that in it. And so it becomes almost like an encapsulating expression of what the current culture is. So also we like clothes, and we like dressing up, and we like trying on different styles and personalities.
We're expressing ourselves and playing with personas.
Yeah, and so it's super fun.
Well, girls, in 2015, you were in Latin America for the first time for the Live Out Festival in Mexico. Do you have plans to come back and visit more cities in Latin America?
I was in Mexico City a few months ago, and Oaxaca City, and I had the best time. I was only there because I wanted to enjoy the culture and the food and all of those things. But
because actually, interestingly enough, we've been to a lot of places, but we've often been touring, so you don't get time to go out and do stuff and see places. So yeah, that was a side note.
Yeah, we would love to come to Latin America. We love Latin America.
Maybe you can come for an upcoming tour, and you can visit more cities from Latin America.
We would love to. Our father has toured in Latin America and in Mexico and stuff, and he's just said it's the best. It's the audiences are amazing there. Apparently,
there's such a real music audience,
music lovers, and I noticed that even at the festival. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned your dad and your parents. Do you think, well, in the process that you are building your career, did you feel pressure for your family heritage?
No. I don't know. I just didn't.
No. I feel like thankfully we have parents who just wanted us to be happy no matter what we did. So for a long time we both wanted to be psychologists, and they were very excited about that. And then we said, no, we're going to be musicians. And they were like, okay, well, here are some tips.
And we were like, we don't need
your tips. And then we went against all of their tips.
But I will say that for a while though, they were a little bit not concerned, but when we would go, like some eras of our career, they were a little bit like, whoa, this is going very pop and very mainstream, and our parents are very much not mainstream, so I think they were like, okay,
Yeah.
but I think now we've kind of come back
We had a couple of times where we sent our dad some songs
and he was like, this is rubbish.
He's like, this is bad. We were like, but they both love Waiting for a Boy, so we feel happy about it.
They're I have to say, our parents are our harshest critics,
But also our biggest fans.
our biggest fans. Yeah.
Well, do you have any plans in time that featuring with them, maybe for a song?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, girls. And well, finally, after this newly released track, what do you have planned, or what's next with Say Lulu?
Tonight we're having a party. We're playing the new song live, and we're really excited about that.
And we're making martinis.
Making martinis, actually making mezcal martinis. So it's a Oaxaca special. A Oaxaca special. So we are kind of focusing on the show tonight, and then we have another single coming. So we're just gonna keep writing, keep working.
Hopefully release an album.
Well, girls, thank you for the interview. I really enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it and have the same feeling.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you. Okay, girls.
Gracias.
Gracias a ustedes.